President Trump is still getting backlash today for not condemning white supremacy during Tuesday's presidential debate. On his way to Minnesota yesterday, the president said he has always denounced white supremacy. Well, several top Republican senators say Mr. Trump should have made that clearer at the debate.
I think he misspoke in response to Chris Wallace's comment. He was asking Chris what he wanted to say. I think he misspoke. I think he should correct it. If he doesn't correct it, I guess he didn't misspeak.
He should have been very clear, and he should have made it very clear that there is no room for people on the far left or the far right when it comes to either Antifa or these white supremacist groups.
Should the president condemn white supremacy?
Absolutely.
What was it, a mistake for him to leave that hanging out there?
Yes.
On a campaign train trip, Democratic nominee Joe Biden visited Ohio and Pennsylvania, and he slammed the president's refusal to condemn white supremacy during the debate, pointing to a far-right group that has embraced the president's words.
Go online. Look at Proud Boys. They got a new emblem now, literally. It says, "Stand down and stand by," implying that if he loses the election, something may have to be done.
This is what the president said about that group yesterday.
And I don't know who Proud Boys are, but whoever they are, they have to stand down, let law enforcement do their work.
But the group had already added that phrase, "stand back, stand by," to its online logo, as the former vice president said. Jeff Pegues has been looking into the group's origins. Jeff, what are its leaders saying?
Well, listen, the Proud Boys deny that they are a white supremacist organization. However, I spoke to a former member of the group who says that there are factions within the group who espouse extreme and racist views, and that the president's comments will only embolden them.
Would you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
With those words at Tuesday's debate, President Trump appeared to resist calls to denounce violent far-right groups like the Proud Boys.
No Proud Boys, no KKK.
The group immediately responded to the president using his words, "Standing down and standing by, sir." In recent months, Proud Boys have patrolled streets and held demonstrations to counter what they claim is violence from anti-fascist extremists. But their presence has provoked violence in cities like Portland and Kalamazoo, Michigan.
So you have to be a Western chauvinist.
The group was founded in 2016 by Vice Media co-founder and self-described provocateur Gavin McInnes, who has often preached language condoning violence.
We beat the crap out of them. We're not going to pick fights, but if they pick fights with us, we're going to finish them.
Former members say its nationalist message has provided cover for white supremacism.
It evolved into this other thing.
Comedian Dante Nero was an early member of the group.
It started to grow. I went on the Facebook page, and there was all this racist stuff on the Facebook page.
They deny that they are white supremacists.
There's not too many racists and white supremacists that actually admit to being white supremacists.
You think President Trump is speaking their language?
Absolutely. It's on their website.
According to the FBI, violence from white supremacist groups is the single biggest threat to national security, as the president's own FBI director testified last month.
Racially motivated violent extremists over recent years have been responsible for the most lethal activity in the U.S.
And with racial tension increasing across the country, the escalating rhetoric poses a challenge for police departments nationwide.
We have been very clear. They are not welcomed here.
Charlottesville Police Chief Dr. Rachel Brackney.
So when you hear the President of the United States say things like that they should stand down but stand by, that type of signaling to be ready for violent clashes does nothing but empower hate groups.
In a statement to CBS News, a representative of the Proud Boys told us, quote, and I'm reading here, "We condemn all forms of isms, whether it be racism, fascism, communism, or socialism." Anthony.
Jeff, you talk to a lot of people in law enforcement. When they hear the president not take an opportunity to condemn a group like this, what do they see? And particularly now in the run-up to the election, what do they expect?
Well, listen, those kinds of comments, and there is evidence of this online, stir up groups like the Proud Boys and others, and law enforcement is keenly aware of that. In fact, to his detriment, the director of the FBI, his political detriment, I should be more clear about this, the director of the FBI has been very vocal about the challenges that law enforcement is facing right now, and it's a rising problem for them with domestic terrorism groups. In fact, he has testified just last month that it is these white extremist organizations that pose the most lethal threat here in the U.S. Another thing about the president's statements, you know, there's clear evidence online that these groups are using it to recruit, using it to even sell merchandise. So they see the president as an ally.
Yeah, using it to create a new logo. Jeff, thank you very much. It's
so troubling, Anthony, and the fact that they see the president as an ally should be troubling to him.
Yeah.
And that's why I believe he has to shut it down in no uncertain terms.
Yeah.
Your support isn't welcome. This isn't what I believe. This isn't what I want. And Tony, he has not done that.
He has not done that, and the Proud Boys have used a very interesting term in responding. They say, our president.
Yep.
Yes.
That's a very clear message there. And they can say they don't believe in any isms, but they have people taking a vow to support Western chauvinism, which is an extreme kind of patriotism.
I thought Dante in Jeff's piece made a really good point. Most white supremacists and racists don't say, hey, I'm one of those.
Yeah, advertise themselves.
No,
Not a
they
card
don't.
in your wallet.
No.